Hey everyone, it's 7Demo7 and today we're going to be talking about the ISDT D2 charger. This is a smart charger. Now I've been into ISDT chargers ever since my mini quad days. They've been really fantastic. So in the past I've been using my smaller ISDT. This is a 300 watt version, but this one is DC current only. That means that when you go to the track you don't have a AC plug, so you've got to bring some sort of a power supply with you. So I was happy when ISDT announced that they were going to have an AC version of this coming out, so that's why I got this one. So I will be doing a separate review on this power supply unit and the smaller ISDT charger on a later date, so I'm just going to put this one aside. So first off, I'm going to go over kind of the outside areas, the aesthetics and the form function and everything. And then I'm going to get into all the menu functions coming up right afterwards. So first off, it's going to come in a nice box like this. I will be putting a link in the description down below so you guys can check it out on Banggood or some of the other sites like Amazon. So to go over the outsides of the charger here, on the back side is going to be your two fans for each side. This is basically a dual port charger, so you can charge two batteries at once. You have your AC plug that goes in the back right here, which is removable. Right side, there's nothing here. The front side is your XT60 plugs and your balance port to plug in your either your battery directly or a charge lead. On this left side is a 5 volt 2 amp USB, which you can plug in your iPhone cable or whatever plug you want in here, so you can charge your iPhone possibly. There is also a update port here, which is the audio jack, and why they haven't updated this to a USB. Mini USB is beyond me, but they haven't gotten to that yet. But it's nice and angled towards you so that you can kind of see the screen really well. It does not come with any charge leads. It comes just as this in the box. Underneath here is some vent ports here. It does come with a screen protector, which I put on extremely poorly. You can kind of see up here in this one corner the screen protector is not all the way down. If you're going to be charging car batteries, which have direct plugs that go into it, I would suggest these cables from Hobby King. These are some of the best cables I've ever used. One of the reasons why it gets the battery away from the charger, so you're not always having to plug these tiny short little cables into the end of the charger. So if you have just a standard battery, this is a 3S2200 that I use for my flight packs. You plug in your balance lead here all the way to the left here on the pins, and then you plug in your battery just like this. And if it's on the other side, it's like this. So you always keep the balance port tooth side down on the far left as you are numbering your cells here. So it just goes in just like that, very easily. Like I said, these charge leads from Hobby King are awesome. I'm going to put a link in the description down below. Now you do need to solder in whatever plug that you're going to be plugging into, because it has some banana plugs on the end of here, so you'll need to cut those off and plug these in. But these are so nice because they've got the braided sleeve protector here, and this will go directly into your battery. I plug in the balance lead first, and then the two leads there. These leads will charge 4mm or 5mm ports plugs. So that's all the outside features of the D2 smart charger. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the menu functions and how you get into changing some of the parameters inside the menu. So there are two buttons, one here and one here. What you do is if you want to do something on this side with this battery, you press this button, and if you do something on this side with this battery, you press the other button. So as you can see, I've got 3.72 on this battery here. This one's 3.91, and they're fairly well balanced. Let's take a look at the right one here. So it shows the voltage. It says 11.1, so it knows it's a 3S. So once we press on the click wheel, it brings up the whole menu for what type of functions that we can do. What you're going to do is press down and scroll at the same time. So here's our tasks. So I'm going to click on this. It has charge, discharge, and storage. The battery type, lots of battery types here. We have lithium high volt, lithium polymer, lithium ion, Li-Fi, PB, which I believe is like a carb battery type, so lead type batteries, and then nickel metal hydride. I don't think there's anything else down below that is correct. So cell voltages, you can control the cell voltage for lipos from 415 down on up to 425, it looks like here, for just standard lipos. So, and they also have a check mark, which is what the recommended is for that type of battery, which is very cool. So let's keep it on 420. Cell count, if for some reason this didn't read properly, you're going to want to set that. There's no reason why it shouldn't have. And here's your current setting, and you can go all the way up to 10 amps, which is great with this charger. Actually, it looks like you can go up beyond, it looks like you can go up to 12 amps, so that's pretty cool. And so in case you're in a rush and you need to charge your battery really, really fast, that's what you would do. I typically always charge at 2C. So if you're just on your battery screen and you push and hold the scroll wheel, it'll go into your settings menu. Here we have the backlight, the volume for the beeps, the tones for when you are done charging, if it does it singly or if it wants to repeat it every few minutes. Split display is automatic. Let's say if you're looking at one side, after a few seconds it'll go back to displaying both. I would like to actually put that on manual now, so I could just push which side I want it on. Here's the language menu here. So it has system information, self-checking, and back here. So okay guys, so what is the big deal with having a charger that is a smart charger, and why is this one different than all the rest of them? Now, I actually tried to get one of my batteries that was out of balance. This is the worst one that I could find. It's actually not that bad, but I took a look through all of my batteries that I had right over here, and they were all pretty decent. So I'm going to plug this battery in. I'm gonna try and do a time lapse on as many batteries as I can. It'll show you guys why this charger is better than a standard 4-button charger. Now, what happens with a 4-button charger is that if you have a low cell and a high cell, and the high cell gets to 4.2 volts in your charging cycle, and this one's down at, let's say, 4.18 or 4.15 or something like that. What happens with a 4-button charger is that it'll overcharge the top cell up to 4.21 or 4.22 like this. It'll bring this one up and it'll discharge this one, and it'll keep charging. It'll charge this one up to 4.22 again. We'll bring this one up and then discharge. So you're always constantly overcharging your highest cell. That's not good for the batteries, and also it takes a long time. If you've ever noticed trying to balance charge a battery, it'll always take a long time. Well, every time you do a charge on the ISDT, you're basically balance charging it every time, except for this one identifies the lowest cell. So let's say you've got a cell that's at, let's say, 4.15 here and a 4.0 right here. It'll recognize the lowest cell first, and it'll start to bring that one up, and it'll bring it up a little faster, and you'll see that it'll actually normalize at a voltage, let's say 4.18, and then all of a sudden all the cells are coming up together. So that's what makes this ISDT smart charger smart. It actually does things that are different than a standard 4-button charger. So let me just plug this one in. We'll see where the voltages are real quick. Like I said, this one's not too far off, but you'll see that the lowest cell here is the cell number 1 at 3.65, and this one, highest one, is at 3.69. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the charge on this one. Let's see how fast it actually does it. We'll do it in real time here instead of this time lapse. So we're charging now. This is at 3.67, 3.7, 3.74. You can see this one 3.75. Now they're all at 3.8-ish. You can see that this lowest cell is now almost up with all of the rest of the cells here, which is really, really cool. We're at 4.0 here. It's actually charging it faster than the rest of the cells. So let's see if we all equalize here. So that's one of the main things that is about this charger. It really it protects your batteries. It charges them more efficiently and faster. Now, after charging for about a minute or so, you can actually scroll down and it'll show you internal resistance of your batteries. That's a huge indicator of the health of your battery. If you have high resistance, the battery's going to be less efficient, and you'll have less punch on your batteries as well. And that's really important for drifting. So here we are at 4.04, 4.01, so they're all pretty darn close, but they're not as far off as they were before. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down once here. And this is a very, very old battery. This is a terrible battery. You can see this is the milliohm rating, and this is at like 25. This should be right at about 5 or so. You can see that this is a battery I actually need to retire. So that's why I picked this one. It's kind of, all over the place. But you can see during your charging, it'll show you your internal resistance, which is right here. So I know that I need to retire this battery. So I'll discharge it. I'll cut the leads off of it, and that'll be that. Okay, guys, I'm sure I'm going to get this question, but yes, this charger is compatible with a parallel charging board. I parallel charge all the time when I was using it for mini quad uses, so you can charge up to 6 batteries at one time. You can run it up to 12 amps, and it'll definitely charge the batteries pretty darn quick. Okay, one other feature of the ISDT charger is that you can use it as a battery checker. So you just plug the balance port in, and it'll display all 4 cells in real time. Okay guys, once again, when the ISDT announced that they were going to have an AC version of this charger, I was super happy that I didn't have to take that big power supply around with me in my car pack. It's great because you can plug in 2 batteries at once, you can parallel charge on one side, you can do whatever you really want, and it's a smart charger, so it's going to really protect your batteries. It's going to extend the battery life of your batteries, which is a really important thing because, you know, batteries are super expensive. So guys, I am going to leave a link in the description where to get this from Amazon and also Banggood, where they're both helpers of my channel. I'll have a link to this also in my Amazon store down below as well. So if you guys want to support the channel, check it out. Even if you don't buy anything, it still helps my channel. So thank you so much guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.